Fever dub! Bow, bow, bow. Dub in the chat. A W.
Indiana Fever put belt to on Dejanay Carrington, Paige Bueckers, and the Dallas Wings.
Don't look now. The Indiana Fever have won 4 straight games.
This team has the potential to win it.
Being able to take Paige Bueckers out of certain shots is effort.
This was like a damn home game in Dallas. There she is, of course, Caitlin Clark, signing for a bunch of fans. A whole bunch of fans in Dallas tonight in droves.
The Indiana Fever just did it again without Caitlin Clark, and the entire WNBA is absolutely shook by what they're witnessing from this incredibly deep and talented roster. This team keeps proving all the doubters wrong with every single game they play. Kelsey Mitchell and Aari McDonald completely and utterly destroyed Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings in what became a masterclass in team basketball and balanced scoring.
It was a group effort tonight, although Kelsey Mitchell was sort of carrying the thing on her back for a while. All right, 32 minutes for Kelsey, 9 of 19, 23 points. That field goal percentage made a very, very nice comeback because she was struggling a little bit there for a while, but she made a nice comeback. 2 double-doubles in this game. Aaliyah Boston had put a 12 and 11 out there. Natasha Howard with an 11 and 16 situation happening.
We get Caitlin back healthy, we can and will beat anybody. We will win the championship this year if Caitlin Clark comes back healthy.
Everyone is talking about how this team might actually be even more dangerous when they're forced to play without their superstar because it forces everyone else to step up. Meanwhile, Clark was going absolutely wild on the sideline, celebrating every single big play from her teammates. She showed the kind of energy and enthusiasm that proves exactly what kind of leader she really is when the cameras are rolling and the pressure is on her to show her true character. This 4th straight win has the Fever climbing the standings and building serious momentum.
Climbing up the standings, currently in the 6th seed, we are a half game out from 4th place. We are a game out of 3rd place. We are a game and a half out of the number 2 seed in the WNBA. And we have our half of our season, we haven't had our best player.
All in all, this is a good win. This is a good win. You know, we are getting further and further away from being near 500 team. We had no business being that.
All of this is happening while everyone in the media doubted they could sustain this level of success without their superstar point guard running the show on the court every single night. Clark may have been sidelined with her groin injury, but she was without question the loudest and most enthusiastic cheerleader in the entire American Airlines Center. Her energy was infectious throughout this dominant performance that had Wings fans leaving early. The way this team is stepping up while their superstar heals shows exactly why they're going to be unstoppable when she returns. So if you're ready to see this Fever squad dominate the entire league, then make sure to comment Team Fever down below. What I'm about to show you proves exactly why this depth and chemistry is going to be absolutely terrifying when Clark comes back healthy and starts running the show again.
And at the end of the day, I'm ready. We just holding the ship steady until the GOAT comes back. Once Caitlin Clark come back, we gonna get it cracking. It's gonna be on and popping, I'm telling you.
Kelsey Mitchell absolutely went off in this game, dropping 23 points on 9 of 19 shooting. She led what became a perfectly balanced offensive attack that Dallas had absolutely no answer for defensively throughout the entire 40 minutes. This was Money Mitch back to her explosive best after having a rough shooting night against Phoenix in their previous game.
This was a collective win. Kelsey Pistol Mitchell came to the party, 9 of 19, 23 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. That's what we like to see from Kelsey Mitchell, 3 of 8 from 3. She had a stinker last game. And this is who Kelsey Mitchell is. You're going to get 20-some games. Some games you're going to get 5.
But I think for us, when we get a chance to really put ourselves in a position to, win games, we got to win them. I think any competitor knows that when we say win them. And I think we took some time off. We had a little drop off today, and I think that's what she's talking about. It was inconsistent. I think we could have been a little bit better.
she had struggled to find her rhythm and timing against a Mercury defense that was focused on slowing her down. Since July 11th, Mitchell has been on an absolute tear, scoring 20 or more points in 8 out of 10 games. She's been shooting the basketball with the kind of efficiency and confidence that makes her one of the most dangerous and unpredictable scorers in the entire league when she gets hot from the field.
Kelsey Mitchell, after going 3 for 10 against the Phoenix Mercury. Kelsey, how are you going to respond? Oh, I'll just go 9 for 19, 23 points, 3 assists. Since July 11th, Kelsey Mitchell has dropped 20 or more points in 8 out of 10 games.
The way she attacked the Dallas defense with her combination of speed, shooting, and court vision was a thing of beauty to watch. She consistently found ways to get good looks and knock down big shots when the Fever needed them most throughout different stretches of the game.
This one right here was something else, something to behold. She drives, oh my God. That behind the back right there to Natasha Howard was sick. It was one of the best passes I've seen all year.
Mitchell has been carrying a huge load offensively while Clark has been dealing with various injuries throughout this season. Performances like this one show exactly why she's such a crucial piece of what this organization is trying to build for both the present and the future success of the franchise. The 3 assists she added to her stat line show that she's not just hunting her own shots but finding ways to make her teammates better. This is exactly what championship teams need from their secondary scorers when the primary option is unavailable for extended stretches. Ari McDonald continues her incredible revenge tour against the entire basketball world.
4 for 6 from 3 for Aari McDonald. Great 3-point shooting performance. 15 points, 6 assists, 6 turnovers for Aari McDonald. We got to be a little bit more careful with the ball, Aari.
Aari McDonald, back-to-back games. Aari McDonald. Because I was ready to fire you and I was ready to give you the belt too, Aari McDonald. But you came to the party the last 2 games. Aari McDonald was ball.
The Dallas crowd was groaning every time she pulled up from beyond the arc with supreme confidence. This is DeWanna Bonner's replacement, showing exactly why the Fever front office made the absolute right decision. They moved on from a player who quit on the organization and brought in someone who actually wants to be there and contribute to winning basketball at the highest level.
This is our blessing in disguise. We always tell her that we appreciate her seriously because our season was all over the place, obviously, with, the people that was on the team, the people that wasn't on the team, injury, Tutu not being around as much with her injuries, and just, it takes a lot for a pro to step up and, be where her feet is and step and fill in shoes that, not a lot of people expect. And I think for Aari, she compliments myself, all the other players so well because she just gets it as far as knowing where people are, knowing the chemistry. And I think for us to her, we have to make sure that we keep patting on the back because this is a big position to fill, and I think that she's doing it unbelievably well.
McDonald also dished out 6 assists with aggressive playmaking and decision-making that opened up the entire offense. She created easy looks for her teammates throughout the game while showing the kind of court vision that makes point guards special. These back-to-back strong performances from McDonald are proving that she absolutely belongs in this rotation permanently. The Fever have found another reliable contributor who can step up and make plays when the team needs her most in crucial moments.
Aari McDonald is a floor spacer. She opens up opportunities for Kelsey Mitchell. She keeps her defender out of the paint for Aaliyah Boston.
This was Aari McDonald.
Looked up and said, "Oh,
right here,
aren't you an all-star?"
with the quarterback pass
completes
to
it.
Sophie Cunningham.
The confidence and poise she's playing with right now is exactly what championship teams need from their role players. Her ability to knock down big shots and facilitate for others makes her invaluable to what this team is trying to accomplish this season. The fact that McDonald was originally brought in on a hardship contract and has now become such an integral part of their success story shows exactly how good this front office has been at identifying talent. They've been making moves that actually improve the roster instead of just making headlines for the sake of making headlines like some other organizations around the league. The front court absolutely dominated this game with both Aaliyah and Natasha Howard putting up massive double-double performances. They completely controlled the paint and the glass against a Dallas team that had no answers inside and looked completely overwhelmed by the physicality and skill level.
The Malia Boston had a solid game. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 5 turnovers. I did not like that.
This continues to show why she's one of the most consistent and reliable players in the entire league when it comes to doing the dirty work that doesn't always show up in highlight reels. But the real story was Natasha Howard absolutely exploding for 11 points and a career-high tying 16 rebounds. She completely dominated the boards and gave the Fever extra possessions all night long while making life miserable for every Dallas player who tried to establish position in the post. Both players also contributed 5 assists each, which shows the unselfish team-first mentality that has become the hallmark of this Fever squad. This approach has carried them throughout their incredible winning streak, and what separates them from teams that rely too heavily on individual talent. Howard was facing her former team and clearly had some extra motivation to show Dallas exactly what they gave up when they let her go. The way she attacked the glass and made life difficult for every Dallas player who tried to score in the paint was absolutely beautiful to watch from a competitive standpoint. The fact that both Boston and Howard were able to facilitate for teammates while also controlling the interior shows exactly why this Fever team has so much versatility. It's why they're so difficult to game plan against when everyone is healthy and contributing at their highest level. On the other side of the court, this game perfectly illustrated the difference between individual talent and actual team basketball, as Paige Bueckers put up 22 points, but received absolutely zero help from any of her teammates in what became a completely embarrassing team performance that exposed all their weaknesses. Bueckers was literally the only Wings player to reach double figures in scoring, which is absolutely pathetic for a professional basketball team that's supposed to be competing at the highest level of women's basketball and trying to make the playoffs this season. Arake Ogunbowale and the rest of the Dallas supporting cast were completely invisible offensively and showed exactly why this team continues to struggle near the bottom of the standings despite having legitimate talent on their roster, high expectations coming into the year. The fact that Bueckers can put up 22 points and her team still loses by 10 points shows just how much of a one-player show Dallas has become and how little depth and chemistry they have compared to what the Fever have built, through smart roster construction and excellent coaching throughout the organization. This is exactly why individual statistics don't tell the whole story, and why team basketball will always beat individual brilliance when it matters most in competitive situations where every possession counts. Bueckers extended her record for consecutive double-digit scoring games to start a career to 23 games, but what good are individual records when your team can't win games and make the playoffs where individual accolades actually start to matter for legacy purposes and championship aspirations? The bigger picture of this victory is absolutely huge for where the Indiana Fever are positioning themselves as we head into the final stretch of the regular season and start looking ahead to playoff positioning and potential championship runs. The Fever are now 16-12 overall and continue climbing toward the kind of home playoff advantage that could make them extremely dangerous in any postseason series against teams that have to come into Gainbridge Fieldhouse and deal with that incredible atmosphere. This 4th straight win shows that they're building real momentum and chemistry at exactly the right time of the season, and the fact that they're 8-7 without Clark this season proves that this isn't just a one-player team, but a legitimate championship contender with depth and talent throughout the entire roster from top to bottom. They're now just a half game out of 4th place and only 1 game out of 3rd place, which puts them in prime position to secure a favorable playoff seeding that could give them home court advantage in the early rounds when every little advantage matters. The confidence and resilience this team has shown while dealing with injuries and adversity is exactly what championship teams are made of, and performances like this one against quality opponents show that they're ready to make some serious noise when the playoffs arrive and the stakes get raised. What makes their positioning even more impressive is that they've done this while playing one of the most difficult schedules in the league and dealing with constant travel and back-to-back games that would break lesser teams both physically and mentally. What makes this win even more impressive is the context and circumstances surrounding the entire situation, as the Fever proved once again that they're not going to let anything derail their championship aspirations or break their place. Focus. The Fever are now 3-0 against Dallas this season, showing complete and total dominance over a team that was supposed to be competitive with the addition of Paige Bueckers and other talented players who were expected to make them a playoff contender. The game was moved to American Airlines Center specifically because everyone expected a showdown between Clark and Bueckers, but the Fever delivered an incredible team performance anyway and showed that they're much more than just one superstar player carrying the entire organization. They're building the kind of confidence and chemistry that championship teams need when their best player isn't available, and these experiences of winning together without Clark are going to make them even more dangerous when she returns to full health and can contribute alongside all of these other talented players who have proven they can step up. This depth and resilience is exactly what separates good teams from great teams and shows why the Fever should be considered legitimate title contenders this season who can compete with anyone when everyone is healthy and playing their roles. The fact that they've now beaten Dallas 3 times without their best player shows exactly how much talent and coaching this organization has from top to bottom, and it should serve as a warning to every other team in the league that the Fever are coming and they're not going to be satisfied with just making the playoffs this year. This 4th straight win proves beyond any shadow of doubt that the Indiana Fever are something truly special with or without Caitlin Clark in the lineup every single night, and it's time for the rest of the league to start taking them seriously as championship contenders. The leadership that Clark provided from the bench, combined with the balanced scoring attack and dominant front court play, is the kind of championship level basketball that wins titles and creates lasting success for organizations that are committed to excellence both on and off the court. When Clark returns healthy and can contribute alongside Mitchell, McDonald, Boston, Howard, and the rest of this incredibly talented roster, this team is going to be absolutely terrifying for every other team in the league to face in any playoff series or meaningful game. The chemistry and confidence they're building right now without their best player is invaluable experience that will pay dividends when the pressure really ramps up in the postseason and every possession becomes crucial. The rest of the WNBA better take notice of what's happening in Indianapolis because this Fever team is building something special and they're coming for everything this season with the kind of depth, talent, and chemistry that makes them legitimate championship contenders who won't be satisfied with anything less than hanging a banner and bringing the city of Indianapolis its first WNBA championship since 2012 when this franchise was at its peak. What makes this entire situation even more incredible is watching how different players are stepping up and seizing their opportunities while the spotlight is on them and everyone is watching to see who will emerge as reliable. Contributors. Sophie Cunningham continues to bring that gritty defensive energy and timely scoring that championship teams absolutely need from their role players, while Lexi Hall has been quietly consistent with her three-point shooting and basketball IQ that allows her to make the right play in crucial moments. Even players like Chloe Bibby are making the most of their limited minutes by coming in and knocking down shots immediately, showing the kind of instant impact that can change the complexion of a game in just a few possessions. The fact that Stephanie White has been able to manage all these different personalities and skill sets while keeping everyone focused on the ultimate goal shows exactly why she was the right choice to lead this franchise back to championship contention. Her rotations have been nearly perfect during this winning streak, and her ability to get the most out of every single player on the roster is a testament to her coaching ability and understanding of what it takes to win at the highest level of professional basketball. The defensive improvements this team has made throughout the season have been absolutely remarkable and show exactly why they're going to be so difficult to beat when it matters most in playoff basketball. They forced 19 turnovers against Dallas while only committing 14 themselves, which shows the kind of discipline and execution that championship teams need to have consistently. The way they're able to switch defensively and help each other out while still maintaining their individual assignments is exactly what elite defenses do when they're locked in and focused on shutting down opposing offenses. Boston and Howard have formed one of the most intimidating front court defensive combinations in the entire league, while Mitchell and McDonald have been much better on the perimeter than anyone expected when the season started. The communication and trust you see between these players on the defensive end is something that takes time to develop, and the fact that they're already at this level shows how much potential this group has when everyone is healthy and contributing at their highest level. Looking ahead to their upcoming schedule, the Fever have positioned themselves perfectly for a strong finish to the regular season that could propel them into the playoffs with serious momentum and confidence. Their next game is against the Seattle Storm, which will be another great test of their depth and resilience without Clark, followed by some crucial matchups against teams they're competing with for playoff positioning, The way they've been handling business against teams they should beat while also competing with elite opponents shows exactly the kind of maturity and consistency that championship contenders need to have throughout an entire season. Every game from here on out is going to be crucial for playoff seeding and home court advantage, and this Fever team has shown they have the mental toughness and talent to handle whatever pressure gets thrown their way. The Clark factor cannot be understated when discussing what this team is capable of achieving when she returns to full health and gets back to dominating games the way only she can. Having a player of her caliber coming back to join an already successful and confident group is the kind of luxury that very few teams ever get to experience in professional sports. Clark brings not just her incredible individual talent, but also her leadership, her basketball IQ, and her ability to make everyone around her better through her playmaking and court vision. The fact that this team has proven they can win without her means that when she does return, opposing teams are going to have to account for multiple threats and can't just focus all their defensive attention on stopping one player. This creates the kind of balanced defensive attack that is nearly impossible to defend consistently over a 7-game playoff series, which is exactly why the Fever should be considered legitimate championship contenders when they're at full strength and everyone is contributing at their highest level.